Giving you story after story, everything is true. Some things are kinda scary, so what you gon' do? Cause that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes we spit scripture, line upon line, not discussing wickedness, but what is divine. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tales from the Sipp, episode 21. Yes, sir. Got a good one for you today. Now, I know you've seen the title, Floating Casket. So you asking me, what is he talking about? Did someone once see a floating casket? Well, let's get into it so I can explain myself. Now, this was back in the late 90s, and I was living in a place called Simpson County. It's like it's like a little bit past Rankin County, probably like 30 minutes from Jackson where I was living. And certain people that hear this from that area, they're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. The ones that heard this story, some older people, they know about this. They know about this. But let's get into it. So one day I was sitting around talking to a few older cats. You know what I'm saying? I was a young dude sitting around them older guys, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like 19, 20 years old. These dudes in their 40s, you know what I'm saying? And they was talking about different situations. And me, when you start talking about a story, I'm all ears. I got to hear it. So they were telling me, one was telling me about, we was sitting around drinking and stuff. I was drinking with them. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But let me get to the story. So they were sitting around talking about, one he had said that it was these certain people that he knew. I think one of them was his kinfolks. As a matter of fact, I think two of them was his kinfolk. But anyway, so they was riding. He said the people were riding on this back road somewhere down there, and they end up getting in a car wreck. So he said when they got in the car wreck, you know what I'm saying? They end up expiring. The two people. So, but that ain't all. So he was telling me about, if you go on this certain road at a certain time of night, certain time of the year, I don't know exactly the certain time of the year, but you will see a casket floating down the road. I'm like, man, come on, man, come on. So he was telling me a story of when he went on that road. Now, for the sake of the argument, this dude that I was talking to, he wasn't a lying type of person. Usually when he says something, you can put your finger on it. If he said it, now I ain't, I'm just bearing witness to what he said and the type of character this guy got. Usually if he say something, he ain't making it up. He ain't the usual type of person lie about nothing. But back to the story. So he said one night he was driving on this road, and then his car began to just act funny. It started to, like it was shaking, then it just cut off. I'm like, So when his car cut off, he still had the lights on in the car. And he was wondering why the cop was, doing that. And he was at this intersection. So one, you know, this road run across like this, but the road he was on was going, so he can cross over that intersection, right? So he said when his car broke down and it had stopped, and all of a sudden he's just sitting there looking, and a casket started floating across the road. That's crazy. But now I said a casket floating across the road in the same place that those two people got killed. Now, for the sake of the argument, the man don't use any drugs. He ain't crazy, none of that. He said when his car broke down at that intersection, the casket started floating across the road like this. So I'm asking him, what you do then? He said, just sit there looking, man. It was crazy. It threw me off. So he said, and after the casket was through floating across the street, floating down the road, then his car was able to crank back up and he was able to drive. I said, man, I'm not going down that road you went on. But I'm serious. And like I say, for the sake of his character, he don't use no drugs. The man ain't crazy. He got good sound mind. And you know what I'm saying? And that kind of threw me off. And you know what I'm saying? So I said, what if that really is a situation that happened? What if that is true? So I do a little investigating because that's how I am. I don't know something. If I want to find out something, I'm going, do a little investigation. So I asked a couple more people. I knew a few people down in that area, older people. And guess what? All of them said the same thing. They said in a specific time in a specific time of the year, if you go on that road, you'll see a casket floating across the street. Now, I'm telling you this. I don't think all those people got to lie about that. I have experienced a lot of paranormal and strange things myself. So, what do you think? You think everybody telling the same lie? Or is it really something there? Me, myself, I didn't go on that road to find out because some things you really try to stay away from. And that's one thing I wasn't going to find out. But if all those people said it, could it be true? Could it really be true? Well, I don't know. Maybe it was. You tell me. What do you think about it? Do you think at a certain point in time of the year, at a certain time of night, that a casket will float across that road if and then you by yourself might see something that a lot of times other people won't see. Like I say, it's a lot of strange things that happen in Mississippi, man. A lot of strange things. It's a lot of blood in the ground down here, man. It's a lot of people that have been, you know, taken out and that have expired. So I don't know, but you tell me what you think about it. Yes, sir. What you think about it? Think it's true or is it false? But anyway, moral of the story is, hey, it's a lot of things that happen, and at certain times of the year, at certain nights, certain times of the night, and you know that these things are true. May have been the witching hour. I don't know. But that's Tales from the Sipp, episode 21, The Floating Casket. Be on the lookout, Tales from the Sipp, episode 22, where I'm going to bring another paranormal situation. Yeah. And until next time, peace out.
That's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes your boy may go way back in the day, talk about experiences and the games that he played. And that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Hey.